Hello everyone, today we're joined by Alexandra and Eva, and we're going to be discussing the pathway to Slovak citizenship. Over to you, Eva.
Thanks, Stephanie. Alexandra, today we're talking about Slovak citizenship through descent.
Yes.
And I think compared to all the other citizenships we work with, including Czech, which you specialize in, this one is a little bit more restrictive. Would you agree?
Definitely more restrictive, yes.
Okay, so what do we mean by that? We mean that the number of generations you can go back to is limited. Mm-hmm. And also the way that you file your application is quite, well, maybe I wouldn't call it restricted, but you do need to work through the consulate. Yes. And the other thing that is restrictive, I guess, if we can put it that way, is eligibility criteria. The laws are a bit different. And Alexandra, you would have probably heard from Jakub, because him and I have been going on about it for months, if not years, that that Slovakia is working on a change of law to make it less restrictive, right? Do you know anything about it? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, so essentially with Czech citizenship right now, you can be eligible by birth and by declaration. So with Slovak citizenship, you can only be eligible by birth at the moment, but they're currently discussing an amendment to the citizenship laws that would allow you to be eligible by declaration. So that means if you have a Slovak parent or grandparent or great-grandparent even that lost their Slovak citizenship, you would be able to acquire Slovak citizenship back by a process called declaration.
Right.
They're currently discussing, yeah.
Yeah, they've been debating it for quite some years now, actually. And every time we are told, oh, it's about to happen, it doesn't happen. Because I guess Slovakia is quite a small country, and, you know, they're a bit protective about who can apply, who can reclaim it. Yeah. But Slovakia as a country is quite new in that used to be part of Czechoslovakia. And how when you assess people's cases, how do you know that someone qualifies for Slovak citizenship?
Yeah, so we look at the town of where their most direct Slovak or Czech ancestor was from. So you need to look at the town that they were born in, and if that's on today's Slovak territory, then you would be looking at Slovak citizenship there. So that's just the key indicator that shows Slovak citizenship. Yeah.
Right. And can you have both Slovak and Czech citizenship or not? No,
you can't. So in cases like that, if for example, you had a Czech grandparent and then a Slovak grandparent, you would have to actually prove that you're not eligible for Slovak citizenship before you can gain Czech citizenship. So you can't gain both Czech and Slovak.
Right, because when the countries separated, it was a quite an amicable separation. There was no war. They just decided through negotiations that they no longer want to be one country, and prior to that, it was like a federation. So there was still separation in the two, I guess, is the way to put it. But the laws made as a result of that separation mean that you can either be Slovak or Czech. You can't really be both. I think Jakub told me once that unless I think your mum's Slovak and your father's Czech, there's like a little provision.
Okay.
But you know, hardly anybody qualifies for that, and both governments prefer for you to have one or the other. So with Slovak citizenship too, because the application does need to go through the consulate, that's another kind of a little bit of a difference and a bit of an impediment, because in fact you need to go for a face-to-face interview, right, with the Slovak government.
Yes, you do. If you're the applicant, you physically need to go and have a face-to-face interview at the Slovak consulate, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what we do for people that proceed with our services, we get all the paperwork together. So that's so can you help us, let's say you know, of Slovak origins, can you help me with research as well in Slovakia?
No, so that's something else that we can't do. We actually can't do research on your behalf in Slovakia. That's one of the places that we can't. So, but we can definitely assist you with how to get that research and those documents if you need to get it. So we can't do it for you, but we can definitely help you and guide you in how to get it.
And can you tell us why you can't do it for us, given that you can do it in the Czech Republic? What's the difference?
I think the Slovak government is just very strict.
Protective.
Protective and just very cautious, maybe I would say.
Yeah. So essentially what we do is prepare the application for you to acquire the documents, but we can't act on your behalf. They are very strict in terms of privacy laws, GDPR, and you need to prove firstly that you are a relative of the person whose information you seek, and also what you're going to use it for. So, and they don't allow representatives to do it on your behalf. So we help with the paperwork, of course, but we can't do it, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll prepare your application and do all the apostles and translations and that sort of thing. So all of that kind of maybe like harder stuff we'll help you with, but then you actually need to take that application yourself and hand it in person and have a face-to-face interview at the consulate. So
yeah, I don't know if you know this, Alexandra, but I've been to a number of those interviews with our clients. Yeah, most recently in Melbourne. And I have to say, I have to compliment the Slovak government and the consular corps, because they're very efficient, very helpful, and very, very professional. So I think when you work hand in hand with a government official who is helpful and very professional, that makes things easier. In other countries, I know that in some consulates in America, it's not such smooth sailing, but between Slovak and Polish, there's so much synergy in terms of languages that I tend to speak Polish at them and they speak Slovak at me and we understand.
That's great. I love that.
But if somebody does have Slovak heritage and they want to pursue it, there's a few things that they need to remember. The first one is what? In terms of eligibility.
You need to have a parent or grandparent that was from the Slovak territory of Czechoslovakia would be key. And the next thing would probably be that they can't have lost their Slovak citizenship. And then also that you need to have the documents. So their birth certificates, because we can't do research for you. So you need to have those documents if you want to apply, yeah. Right.
And I think the last thing to remember, I guess, is that it's another pretty efficient government, and any cases that we've ever handled take less than 6 months. So if you do qualify, we can help you with putting the application together, translating everything and supporting you, holding your hand essentially. But once the application is with the Slovak government, they're super helpful, super efficient and super fast compared to others, Italian 6 to 8 years, Greek, 87 years, whatever it is, right? So Slovak pretty quick. And how do we get in contact with you, Alexandra? How do we, get in onto it?
Yeah, so you can go to Polaron's website, or you can look in the comments in our Facebook Live and you'll see my email address there, or you can try and get in contact with me by my phone number.
Okay.
With me, yes.
So we'll post all that information in a comment below this session. And you do work with our colleagues who are based in the Czech Republic. And I believe that both Jakub and Tom speak Slovak, right? Because the languages are very similar.
Yeah, they do. So if you have any documents that you can't understand, you can send us a scan or a picture of them and Jakub and Tom can tell us what they are. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, thank you. That's been very, very informative. And again, anyone wants to speak to us in relation to the Slovak heritage or how to do things or whether they qualify, please contact Alexandra. Thanks, Alex, for your time today.
Thank you so much.